what are the top 5 to 10 worst ascension symptoms that you will ever feel. And nobody talks about them. I'm going to go into the dirty details today on Earth 1111. But if you're ascending, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell because I go into hundreds of different topics to help you guys out. All right, let's get right into it. What's the first one? The cone head. So it sounds right hilarious until it happens to you. We're literally stuffing the entire multiverse into our head, right? And then we have to integrate it through the entire body, through all the energy systems. So it's a lot. Your head will expand. Sometimes you'll have what almost feels like a caveman head, right? You have like those ridges on maybe the sides, the back, the front, right? You almost kind of feel like you have this like head pressure, like this headband of energy that is stuck. And so your head will literally get bigger sometimes. Again, this happens in cycles. So don't think you're going to have this cone head or caveman head forever, right? So what happens when we have an expansion, your head has to, right, the bones literally are turning to plasma. So they are not going to be the same carbon-based matter as before. So your bones get flexible. Your form gets flexible. And right when we are literally integrating the entire multiverse, a lot has to shift. So again, this usually happens for maybe a few days at a time, few weeks, and then your head will get back to normal somewhat. Okay, so for me, like I said, my forehead used to be not as high, but right, we have to realize that we are becoming beyond human. So the whole thought about, worrying about our looks 24 hours a day, when you're ascending, that goes out the window. It really does, especially right at the beginning, it's all fun. Well, first it's the dark side of the soul. Then it's kind of some fun stuff. And then you get to the real work, which is the Kundalini currents and the Merkaba running through your body. So you are literally becoming a stargate, a spiral on many different levels. And this is how you integrate all the other aspects of you that are located in other time vectors, other locations in the time-space continuum, and you're able to anchor them into you. You're the singularity. So beyond the point of this video right now, but understand that sometimes your forehead will get higher as you are literally expanding, right, to reach higher expansion, higher levels. And then as you integrate, as you ground these energies and they integrate fully, properly into your physicality, then your head will shrink down, having that expansion, and then you have to integrate. Expansion, integration. So when you reach the full polarity integration, which is the Eros Gamos, so for me this happened in 2017. So long story beyond the point of this video, but this is when you become fully avatar embodied, merge with the cosmic stream. Right, this is cosmic consciousness, this is God source consciousness, this is Christ consciousness. So my crown expanded so much it actually ended up becoming a spiral. Essentially, my head became a golden crown with multicolored gems and jewels, right, of the rainbow, all in a circle, right, in that crown. So essentially it was more of a masculine type crown, which represents the Christ consciousness. Again, we go beyond that and fully merge with the cosmic mother energy. So your crown literally becomes a crown. And again, this isn't just energetically, this is now, you will feel it as part of your anatomy because, again, in the advanced stages, you will no longer feel like you are just in a body. You are an entire unified field, shape-shifting, like a full DMT super trip, 24 hours a day, and your body is in the field. So it's about you anchoring into the body, getting into the body, right? Because you become a full cosmic sun, right? You become so massive when you embody all dimensions, right? And these are currents that are literally running through your physical body and through your space. So you become so massive that your crown has to expand and your body has to expand, and it gets very hard to get in the body. So later on, maybe about a year later, my head then went from that, right, like a king crown type with jewels, to one of those pharaoh heads, right? So essentially it became a major cone head. So all of a sudden it just expanded, boof, right to deep space. So again, this is beyond your body. So think about it, right? We are merging with the entire 15-dimensional universal time spiral and going beyond that into non-dimensionality, the entire unified field, and then the entire dark matter template, right? So there's never an end. We never just ascend, okay, now we're done. It's a constant expansion and contraction. And you're also anchored all the way down into deep space, right through the core of the earth and beyond as well. So later on, maybe 6 months later, or maybe a year later, then my head expanded again to become more of those pharaoh type of heads, you know, that kind of have those flaps, I guess you'd say, in front. So again, it was another expansion, and these are all levels of embodiment. So this is not just some astral trip, right? This is your light body that changes and transforms and becomes a lot more quantum as you go through your path. Okay, so then my crown ended up becoming these, like, for lack of a better word, horns. And I was like, so in this activation, I was kind of freaked out thinking, okay, if I just like become a demon or something, you know, because like these reversal spiral energies, which I didn't actually understand at the time, that was the moment that I had fully embodied parallel Earth. So we are the matter universe. And when you fully merge with the antimatter universe, then you go into 0 point. But if you're interested, take my course, Ascension Magic, because I go into this and many more other topics in more detail. Okay, so which was interesting, after that happened, I felt like I had become the microcosm as well, right? So really I had become atomic, and I was able to fully merge with everything in the multiverse. So it really threw me into a level where I had to go into the deepest, darkest crannies, the darkest stuff, right, that was shoved into the grids, into many different seals of the gates, things like that. I had become it, so there's no going back, right? These are levels of embodiment that when you reach a certain level, you can't go back from that, because you are now in a different form of matter. So, right, it's no joke when you start moving through the advanced levels of embodiment. So again, don't be worried about ascending, because this takes many years, right, decades to achieve this. So don't think that, right, if you start meditating tomorrow, you're going to all of a sudden have all these things happen. It's a slow progression over many different years, right? There's never one ascension event, the grand solar flash. If you want to know more about that, watch this other video. It's because we have so much energy coming into the body. One of the first things to happen that is never fun is you will start losing hair. And you could also start gaining hair in places where you don't want any. So again, that's for two reasons. So number one, of course, is our hormones. Your glands are being reworked. So again, ascension is a recoding infinitely on every level of your being. So you will have many hormone changes, hormone issues, right? Issues with our thyroid, issues with our thymus, with our different systems of the body, right? Because every single system is linked to a gland. So it's never fun when we, right, feel like our hair is going thin. Now I'm lucky because I still have thick hair, but I probably had twice as thick of hair before. So again, you will go through cycles where you'll feel like your hair is really falling out. And then when you integrate, all of a sudden you wake up. And it's like you've shifted timelines. Your hair is twice as thick. Right, have you ever had that? Right, a lot of spiritual men have issues with, right, they go bald. And that's because, again, we have so much energy coming in through the hair. It's almost like frying the hair. So try to take a lot of oils on your diet, right? Fats are actually good for you, right? It's one of the things we have to realize. Everything has been reversed. So fats, oils, so again, the good oils, they will literally absorb toxins and move them through your body. And they lubricate your body. They allow your skin to glow. They allow your hair to be thicker. So make sure you're taking oil supplements. Again, there's many different types. We have hemp oil, flax oil, avocado oil. We have coconut oil. You know, there's a lot of coconut oil out there that's just garbage. But so many different types of oils that we can use. Of course, fish oils. So make sure you're taking many different sources of fats in you, right? Fat doesn't make you fat. That's a lie. So definitely make sure you are, especially if you're having issues with your hair. Also, gluten. Gluten will literally destroy your hair, right? All these GMO things out there. They are created to destroy your health. Also, some people might have to cut out the dairy because that will also destroy hair. And sugar, right? All the stuff we know, we just don't like to really listen to. So all those things will help your hair to just transform. So don't think that, right? So even for men that are quite bald, you can recover that. Never think it's too late. You are recovering your original divine blueprint. You can grow a limb if you had to. So this is how powerful that is. So also, with a lot of people too, right? They have too much electrical energy coming in, but they're not grounding. So they're not grounding into the center and integrating and balancing that dielectric energy with the magnetic energy, which is really a center point, center merging energy. So that's also what can fry your hair, because a lot of people, right, are in their heads way too much. Even spiritual people, even a lot of those spiritual gurus out there, right? There's not a lot of feminine in them. That's the magnetic. So that can also help your hair as well. Okay, now, as I kind of mentioned before, being able to gain and lose weight very quickly. So again, this can be a fun thing, and this also can be something that really pisses us off, right? Because no one wants to feel that they just can't lose weight if they want to. But no, when you are becoming the entire multiverse, sometimes you have to expand and have a little bit of a Buddha belly going on, right? But then what happens? You lose that density. And for me, right, I can lose like what seems like 30 pounds in one day. Because it's not about the weight, right? It's about the density. So we can think of density as how thick you look, right? Because it's all just energy. So if you have lots of knots and lots of issues going on in your fields, you will look like you're bloated. You will look wider than normal, right? So you can exercise and look like you lost 20 pounds, literally in 1 hour. For me, this is why I'm always looking different on every video. So you kind of get past the point of worrying about your looks. You have to, because we're so much more than the physicality. Okay, so yeah, that's a sign, right? Being able to shapeshift and change yourself very quickly. So also the same thing too, right? You could eat something or maybe go hang out with a certain person that's dense, and all of a sudden you look like crap. So being able to, right, look amazing, and then the next second you look like crap. That is all normal. So don't be too worked up about your looks during ascension, because know that you are literally clearing away density. This is like the deepest, darkest grud inside yourself. The toxicity, everything that essentially is holding you back from your life purpose, from your happiness, from your health. You're clearing that, and also for the entire world, right? And on many different dimensions. So if you're watching this video, you're likely going to be someone that, right, is an empath, is a light worker, a starseed, an indigo. If you're awake and aware, you are likely one of those types of people. So this essentially, we're holding higher DNA templates, so we get to do a lot of the transmuting of darkness for everybody else, which again is never fun. But that's why, right, we end up becoming the shape-shifting field that can change and transform very quickly. So you can rejuvenate yourself and make yourself look your ideal youthful glow, right, in a matter of a few days if you're looking terrible. So know this is a process, right? For me, I went through a couple years where I looked terrible, would seem like every single day. So again, know that it's never forever. You'll get that glow back. You'll be youthful again. Your skin will be perfect. Just make sure, again, you are taking care of your physical body. So many people think that they're just, right, the body's separate. The body is everything. If you are eating terribly, you're going to be feeling many ascension symptoms. So again, I have a whole playlist on ascension symptoms, many videos you guys can watch on my channel as well. Okay, so let's get into now those, right, those nasty body things that nobody wants, like sweating and smelling sometimes. So again, there's times, so again, not so much anymore, because now I seem to be cold a lot of the time, because, you know, as we transform into higher states of matter, we have so much energy within our cellular structure. We have to be colder. So for me, I'm a lot colder now than I used to be. So when I was a kid, I was always hot. So I come from like a cold environment up north in Canada, so near Alaska, and there'd be some winter times where it'd be minus 20, minus 30 Celsius. I wouldn't even need a jacket. Like, I was that hot all the time. I was running on hot. So again, that can also happen to you too when you're out in a public place with a lot of density, a lot of dinge, hang out with certain people. All of a sudden I'll have like a hot flash and I will just start sweating, right? You are just, your cells, your atoms, your particles just start spinning so fast to try to up level the environment, because, right, we merge with the entire field around us. We're not merging to some other plane of existence separate from everything out here. So you will become the cleanup crew, right, in all your aspects. So you will start spinning so fast that you will just start going into like overkill. You will just start having this major hot flash. So again, you don't have to be of any certain age to have this. You don't have to be a woman. This will happen, right? This is the Kundalini currents going through you. Again, when I was in my early 20s, when things were really ramping up for me, that was when I was my hottest. I just couldn't stop sweating. And it's embarrassing, right? No one wants to be sweating. Again, don't use deodorants. Don't use those deodorants unless it's a natural one. You can buy natural ones that more neutralize the sweat, but don't block it. That is your body's way of getting rid of crap, toxins, heavy metals, parasites, lots of stuff coming out. So sometimes you will have weird smells during this. It's not fun either. So again, it's not like a BO smell, it's like a metal smell. So actually years ago I heard too that grief, when it comes out of the body, you can taste metal in your mouth and you can smell like metal. So I thought that was interesting too. I always thought it was just heavy metals coming out. But yeah, you can definitely have some weird smells, which again, never fun. That's why, like I said, use those natural deodorants, because those will neutralize and absorb any types of toxins, right, all this weird smell, but it will allow you to also sweat and not just block. Because if you're blocking your natural ability to sweat and to release toxins, you are bunking yourself up. You are, it's kind of like, you know, why we need so much water. So again, drink lots of water. Make sure you're adding those mineral salts back into your water as well, because purified water will actually leach your body of its minerals, because you, essentially what you're doing is you're removing the minerals in the water, you're drinking it, then the water will pull out minerals from your own body. So make sure, again, you are adding back those mineral salts, those trace minerals back to your water before you drink it. But yeah, at my hottest, when I was running really hot, like I said, back in my 20s, there was a lot of times where I used to drink like about 80 or more glasses of water a day. 80. Let yourself sweat. Just get it out. Right? Have a salt bath. You can have a shower. You can exercise. I can have a Wim Hof, right? Dip in cold water. All these things will help to get rid of that stuff that's trying to come out. There's a reason why your body's sweating. It's trying to release toxins. Don't stop it. All right, another one. So feeling like we are schizophrenic. Those times where we feel like we're manic, or we just can't control ourselves, right? We're seeing visions everywhere, and we're hearing voices in our head. We just feel like we are so overwhelmed, we've lost it. So again, you haven't gone crazy. You're activating, you're being able to access higher dimensions, and in higher dimensions and lower dimensions. So again, these things typically when they first come online, because we haven't cleared ourselves, our physical body, they're the scary stuff, the monsters, the demons, the ghouls. Right? These voices in our head are not happy voices. They're mean or they're negative. So again, don't run to the doctor and grab yourself a med, because what's that going to do is that's going to shut you off from your ability to access your body. Essentially, it's putting a block between your brain and your body, and you're unable to feel a thing. So people walk around like zombies, right? We see it everywhere. Let these emotions get out of you. The key is to do it constructively. And you'll realize when you ground, when you have a practice where you're using, sound healing, you're doing meditations, you are eating better, you're exercising, you're getting into nature. That's key as well. Offline, right? Getting away from those artificial frequencies. Those scary things or the overwhelming, right? All the beings, all the voices in your head, that will calm down. So again, you've activated a level where there's a lot of beings. It's never fun, but just know that is going to happen. It's right. During ascension, you are merging with thousands and thousands and thousands of other aspects of you, other lifetimes, existing as planets, suns, right? Darker trauma type energies that you haven't healed, past lives, right? As animals, as elements, as elementals, all different types of things. It gets weird. So again, take my course if you're interested in more. Okay, so other scary stuff that can happen, of course, when we feel like we're just backlogged with energy. You can have heart palpitations. You can have a lot of scary things happen, feeling like you're seizuring, like you have so much energy moving through you, like you're being electrocuted, or the pressure within yourself. You feel like you're going, God, sometimes, especially when we're embodying the higher dimensions, because any dimension beyond the 7th, right, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, these all move through the pineal gland in the center of your brain. So when you have a blockage, it can feel like you are going to have a stroke, like your brain has such a blockage. You have like a brain tumor. Like it's a scary, scary feeling, and you can feel like you're being pulled, and like you're being pulled out of your body, or attacked, or hands coming at you. So again, all these things, know that you are integrating another level. Just again, I have a whole playlist on ascension symptoms. Know that you are safe. Right? Have a fast, have a cleanse, have a salt bath, sage. Do some grounding work. Listen to some sound healing things. These will literally vibrate your different organs and your different chakras, and dissolve these blockages, these cords. So again, you can feel like you are being strangled from the inside out. Because again, when you become a vortex, a stargate, you will be a spinning vortex. And so what happens is when you get backlogged with a lot of energy, I talk about in many different videos, these cords I feel. So a lot of times these cords can be knots. It's like a bunch of shoelaces knotted up, and you're not allowing your energy to move. So your vagus nerve reset, that can also help, because these are the energies running through the central column. And that's your nervous system, that's your heart, your lungs, your spine, all the stuff that, right, can be very scary when you have a blockage. Right, difficulty breathing, all these different things are caused because of this backlog, these twists So when you're able to untwist the energy, it can spread out and move away from the center and align perfectly the way it should be. So yeah, just know that there's so many different ways to heal yourself. Just again, I have many different videos to watch that will give you guys tips. And if you're really feeling a lot of stuff, take my course, because I talk about many different things in detail, the whole entire story about what's going on in the world, what's going on in your life, your body, the transformation of you at the cellular level. You're becoming the multiverse. So that's in my course, Ascension Magic, and I have lots of tips for all these things I talked about today. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. I'll be going into my different videos on lots, and comment below what ascension symptoms you guys are experiencing so I can maybe do a follow-up video on that. So I love you. This is Roxanne, EARTH1111. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, all that, and like the video. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.